You're listening to In Joke, gallivanting through comedy every Sunday on SIN.
Good evening. Happy April Fools.
Yep.
Happy end of daylight savings.
Merry Easter.
Merry Easter, yes. This is In Joke with Laing and Shivé. No Tal, no Emma.
Yep.
So
Just
it's very
us.
yes, just us. But that does not mean we have a
but
Jack.
we also have Ray.
Smithers.
Ray Smithers, as you go by these days.
As the classic Simpson line is, Smithers, I like the way you turned me on.
But on the show today, we've got, of course, in-joke news, and then we'll have an interview with Steph Laing, who's got a show at the International Comedy Festival, and then we also have Chelsea Zeller, another comedian who has a show at the Comedy Festival.
We got an interview with 3 comedians today.
Oh, yes, there is a third comedian. How could I forget?
Yes.
It's Liam.
Thank you.
He's also a host on the show.
I'm lucky enough to be allowed to come back on. My manager said he would allow it since I am contractually obligated to appear for the next 3 episodes. So after my record-breaking show at the School of Hard Knock Knocks on Thursday, in front of the whole 15 people,
yes,
I am now a massive star, a massive superstar.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. We have a comedian among us. Let's hope he doesn't get too big for the show anytime soon. And now we're gonna go to the in-joke news.
Yes, after the fail intro. April Fool's weddings have been sweeping the country as we reported that over 20 weddings across Australia were just April Fool's jokes. That is where the husband or wife-to-be spent $1,000 on a wedding just to call it a joke last minute.
A missing 3-year-old boy has been reunited with his family after he went missing from a campsite. The family told media the toddler had attempted to catch a ride on a kangaroo, thinking the animal would take him home to his parents. Unfortunately for the toddler, the kangaroo had just received another Uber request and wasn't able to pick him up.
Karen Cooper, who famously married a tree, explained that I was sick of only having one piece of wood in me. Now I can have as much as I like. Also, she added, if the wood underperformed, she can just throw it in the fire.
Historians have discovered that the letter of rejection you get after unsuccessfully applying for a job was originally written by William Shakespeare. It said that Shakespeare originally wrote the letter for an arts literature student who was pestering him for an internship.
Now for sport, and the Western Bulldogs have taken the term April Fools to a whole new level after performing a 2-hour stand-up routine against the West Coast Eagles at Etihad Stadium.
We're joined by Steph Laing. Am I saying
Laing?
Laing.
Yeah.
Laing. Okay.
I think I said correct. I think I was right. You said Laing, I said Lang.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very bad.
But Stephanie,
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Wait, is
Very
it
good.
Stephanie or Steph? Before we butcher your name.
Whatever you
Yeah, I
want
don't
to
know.
call me.
Maybe I sounded like your mother there saying Stephanie.
Yeah, what did I do wrong?
So, welcome to the show, Julia. Nice to have you.
I'm Jessica, nice to meet
Yes.
you.
But you're a comedian.
I am a comedian.
From UK.
Yeah.
You know, the motherland, kind of Australia, or the colonized land. I don't know.
Yeah, we've done a lot of awful things. Soz, guys.
It's all right.
Whoops, my bad.
Ooh.
Apology accepted.
Tripped and fell and colonised some things.
But you're a comedian, and you know you're funny. You're already cracking the jokes.
Yeah.
You're a comedian and you're performing at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
I am indeed.
What's the name of your show?
It's called Mad About the Boy.
Mad About the Boy.
Oh, the boy, not the boys.
The boy.
Just
there
one,
are-
just
Who
one
is the boy?
I
boy.
mean, there's a lot of boys in this
Yeah.
show.
No, not
Am I
boys.
one of them?
You're not yet, but
Okay.
watch yourself.
Oh.
So you like the Taylor Swift of comedy?
Ooh, oh gosh, that might actually be a bit true.
Not gonna
Had it
lie,
put
not gonna lie. I found that very clever. That question. I'm proud. I'm proud of myself for that
Did you
one.
just come
Is-
up with that
Yeah,
one?
yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
In the sense that you're maybe about to slut shame me.
Oi, oi.
Oh, now she's turned
Sick
it around.
burn, sick burn.
Now that you made it public, now I just look bad.
Yeah.
When I was implying it, it was fine.
It was all
You
just
know.
on the down low.
Yes.
Yeah, no one says the same thing about Ed Sheeran, so maybe
Yeah,
there's a bit of a double standard there.
true that. And I'm a little bit ginger. ginger, so.
Let's say the reason why they don't pick on Ed Sheeran is because he's ginger. So let him get all the love he can get. It's hard for gingers out there.
Yeah, he's had a tough life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, you're a little bit ginger, so
A little
you're
bit.
kind of on the spectrum there.
The
Yeah,
tinge
yeah.
of ginge, one might say.
But it's easier for me because I got boobs.
That is true. Yes, very much so.
Just about, at least.
Okay. Your show. Tell us about your show then. It's about your love life, I'm guessing.
It is. It's kind
Yeah.
of a relationship history. So there is a lot of like silly, fun, awkward, me being an awkward person, awkward sex stuff in it. But there's also some kind of sad stuff. So I talk about mental health
Yep.
and self-harm and domestic abuse, but I make it super funny. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Not like in a making light of it way, but just in a let's find
No,
the
no, no.
ridiculous in these topics way.
we both watched your video that you have on YouTube.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so we did sort of see that you delved a little bit into that self-harm kind of stuff.
That
Well, it's good to
market.
see you.
At the end.
It's good to see you still alive as well.
I'm
yes.
doing fine at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
thanks,
good,
man.
very good.
Yeah.
But how do you sort of joke about those kind of topics, those kind of things that might be considered a no-go area for some people?
Because I think it's always possible to find the ridiculous in those things. Like self-harm is ridiculous. Like it's obviously sad when people do it, but it's also ridiculous that it does in some ways feel like it helps. It's just a weird thing to do. So I think it is possible to kind of take the piss out of almost anything that happens.
Well, that's true.
And
Yeah.
I think particularly if it's your own stuff, like just go for your life. If you want to make it seem ridiculous, you might as well.
Okay. And like, I want to get a bit deep here, but would you say, you've mentioned, mental health and you like talking about that kind of stuff. Do you look at comedy as a sort of, I don't know, something that helps you with your mental health, something that's a bit of a release, like sort of getting all of your thoughts out there?
I think it is quite therapeutic to feel like I'm connecting with people on those topics. Like I do have people come up to me after the show and say, thank you so much for talking about that. That was great. A lot of comedians use comedy. There's a sort of trope of using comedy for therapy, but I think it's probably best to use therapy for therapy.
Well, yeah, that's usually what therapists are there for.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I did that first.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I could do the show I'm doing now if I was still upset about everything that I talk about, because it would just be to just relive a lot of painful stuff every night would be really upsetting.
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm now fine makes it a lot easier.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, how, you're talking about your love life, how personal does it get? How
I thought you were
nitty-gritty?
about to ask if she's single. Speaking about your
Going on to me,
speaking about your
Shivé.
love life,
Yeah.
how long were you in Melbourne for?
How personal? Oh, yeah, very personal. Yeah,
Yeah.
very emotionally and physically at some points. Yeah, definitely delve.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds so
Yeah,
British. there.
in your video, you
very British.
you took your shirt up to show your tattoo that said "breathe."
Yes,
Do you still have that tattoo?
yeah, they don't come off.
Okay.
That's an asthmatic. I might need to get that tattoo. That might be a good tattoo for an
That's a
asthmatic. Yeah.
good one, that's a good
Breathe.
choice. Yeah.
What do I need to do? Oh yeah, I need to breathe. Yeah.
Sometimes I do find that though, like you just if you focus on your breathing, then you forget how to breathe, like to just get back
Yeah.
into it normally.
I worry that if I focus on it and then I stop focusing on it, I just won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And then I'll just die.
Well, yeah, you
I'll
kind of
just
do need to breathe.
pass
yeah.
away in the
Mm.
night.
Well, apparently you're dying anyway, so
We're all dying
why not?
slowly,
Yeah.
aren't
Why
we?
not speed up the process?
Comedy!
Exactly.
We're all slowly dying. Come to my show when it's definitely Laing.
If we're all dying, how about we make it fun? Let's do
Yeah.
radio show.
And so, when does the show start?
It starts on the 9th of April
And when does it run till?
till the 22nd of April, so it's 2 weeks.
Wow.
Tasmatella.
Every day,
Um,
or
Every day, yeah, 9:15.
God, you're gonna be bored doing the same thing.
I
For
did
2
it.
weeks.
So I did it in Edinburgh last year for a month, and I did Perth and Adelaide before I came to Melbourne. So I'm quite used to just
So
kind
you
of
technically,
doing it.
yeah, you technically haven't done Australia yet. You've done those two places.
I liked Perth.
it's like saying
How I missed out Adelaide.
it's like saying Scotland and Wales are part of England. They're not. No one really cares about Scotland and Wales.
Scotland's awesome, and Wales is awesome.
Yeah. What are you saying? I don't know. These are
You're a
Liam's
mean
own
guy.
views. Yeah. Not the views of the show or Sid 90.7. I'd like to clarify that. So how do you go about performing for that long? How do you sort of combat performance fatigue, I guess?
I try to take days off. I
Okay.
also I do yoga and meditation every morning, and I suppose because I've had a lot of therapy, I'm quite good at counselling myself. So if I have a bad day, I make just a list of things that are wrong, and then a list of positive things I can do to make those things better. Like I did that yesterday. It's just like, I feel worried about this. This is what I can do. So yeah, I mean, it's quite hard being away from home for like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
But I think I'm quite good at looking after myself. It's very important to look after yourself,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay, no, that's good. Sage advice.
Yeah.
Do you find that the show sort of evolves throughout? Do you pick up little things and maybe add and evolve? Or
Yeah, I think it's getting better gradually as I do it, definitely. 'Cause
Okay.
You put little ad-libs in and you're like, oh, that's really funny, I'm going to say that again. And then there's a lot of bits in the show where I speak to the audience about stuff, so that's always a bit different. Because I
Yeah.
ask people about their tattoos, or I ask people, stuff.
So because you've already performed this same show in Edinburgh and Perth and everything, Melbourne people are getting the best version then.
Exactly, you
Yeah.
lucky buggers.
Thank you.
Since your show is such a personal show, have you got any inappropriate hecklers? Like not normal hecklers, like real inappropriate ones.
I sometimes, yeah, because I do talk about like an abusive relationship I was in, and that's there are funny bits in that, but it's quite a kind of sad bit of the show. And I have had a couple of people be like, "You should have broken up with him," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's kind of one of the points I'm making in the show is that that's quite hard to do."
It's pretty much
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't really want some stranger being like, "Well, can I suggest that you should have left him?" I go, "Yeah, I know that."
Yeah,
Well,
that-
hindsight's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, if only you'd been there to tell
Yeah.
19-year-old me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one likes a shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this your first time in Australia?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you think the, are you scared of Australian audience? Oh, well, you've already performed in Perth. But that's, it's kind of on the other side of Australia,
We're
It's another
quite a
time
big
zone.
country.
Yeah.
Massive, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Australian audiences are really nice. They're lovely. I'm really enjoying being here. They're like super, super nice.
All right. That's
Also,
good.
British audience aren't there?
No, British audience are nice. They vary quite a lot throughout the country. London audiences aren't very nice because they're just a bit jaded. They see stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So in London, it feels like you go on stage and they're like, "Come on then, make me laugh. Come on, do it."
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Yeah.
I've noticed that when I was in London, like when you see people going home on the tube after work, they just look like the life has been sucked out of them.
Yeah, dead behind the eyes. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it is quite sad. It's a cool city though, but yeah,
I've been to
The
Dublin.
people.
They look lovely in Dublin, so I'm guessing Ireland's the place to be.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dublin's
So I'm
nice.
giving some people some travel advice. Go to a nice country. Let's
okay.
go over to Ireland.
Ireland is nice.
but you haven't been there though.
I have been. To
Oh, you
Ireland.
have been there. Okay.
Yes. My name's Lee McGrady. I'm kind of kind of
Oh
Irish.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a serious question for you. This is like we're talking about a serious topic.
Mhm.
If you could be a vegetable, what would you be?
Ooh, good question. I think
Told you, hard-hitting questions.
I would be a pea.
A pea. Why a
Because
pea?
then I wouldn't be lonely. I'd hang out in my pod with my other peas.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
such
a
a good
I
response.
feel like cabbages are probably a bit sad, whereas a pea.
It is. And who's
Yeah.
excited about eating cabbage?
Yeah.
Like
No one.
at least peas.
Yeah.
No one's excited to eat peas by themselves, but peas, other things. People are like, yeah, peas are okay.
I'm a fan of peas.
Yeah, I like peas.
Do you like mushy peas?
Yeah, love
Yeah.
mushy peas. Yeah,
Do you have salt and vinegar on your chips?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a Britishness? Is this my citizenship
I'll,
test?
I'll,
Yeah.
I'll just turn off my mic and let you guys go. This is good. Also, what do you think of Australia as a whole, as a country? It's hot, and you've probably been sunburnt numerous times.
No, I'm wearing so much sunblock every day that I'm still taking a vitamin D supplement
Oh wow.
every day.
Oh wow.
So
But
no,
say-
I'm so pasty, honestly. This is genuinely me with a tan. I'm just hoping my freckles will join
For,
up.
for the listeners out there, she's actually blind. We're wearing sunglasses. That's how pasty.
I'm a blue. I'm essentially blue. I think Australia's really nice. Everyone's very relaxed. If I get stressed about something and I'm like, I'm really stressed, people just say, yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of
That's
that thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
People
would-
say no worries a lot, so I think that really speaks to the
uh,
genuine vibe.
We say the most confusingest word in history. Yeah, nah. Has so many different meanings.
Yeah, nah.
Like,
yeah.
hey, do you want to go movies? Oh, yeah, nah, I can go. Or do you want to go movies? Yeah, nah, I can't make it. Or yeah, nah.
Stop
it's
leading
just,
me on for a
yeah,
word.
it's such an annoying word that we don't know the actual meaning for.
But anyway, I think this interview is coming to an end. We're
Yes,
going to
yes.
jump to a song.
Well,
But let's, wrap
by her
up.
request,
Let's give it
Steph's
one last sort of promotion. What do you want to say about your show to get everyone at home moist?
Ooh. Well, it's got me in it, guys.
Yeah, that's good.
It's really funny. People laugh a lot, and they are moved by the sad things, but they also laugh. So it's good times.
So if you want to laugh and hate yourself at the same time, it's brilliant.
If you want to laugh and feel like a connection with somebody else about how much you both hate yourselves, then can come to my show. But it's very uplifting overall.
Awesome.
Very happy.
And now we've got another interview, back-to-back interviews. We've got why am I saying Catherine? I actually already messed up.
Chelsea,
That's
the
it.
soccer team. The soccer team.
Chelsea Zeller in the room. Your show is called a rude word. It's called Massive Bitch.
It is a rude word. Sorry about that.
Yeah, can you tell us a
Is
bit?
that a personal experience? Or?
No, it's more a reference to some of the characters in the
Ah,
show.
better say, is it like a self-memoir?
Yes, that's right. Well, when I'm marketing it, it kind of sounds like Chelsea Zeller is a massive bitch. It's a good flyering technique.
Yeah.
Yes, can spark some interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a character-driven show.
It is. Yes.
How many characters are you performing as?
At the moment, I think it is 8. 8
Okay.
characters. So
Wow.
yeah, 8 or 9. There's a couple of there's maybe 3 major characters that we kind of follow the arc through the rest of the whole show, and then there's probably about 5 or 6 smaller ones that you just pop up and do little snippets here and
And
there.
it's different sort of costumes and stuff you have for them, right?
So actually, I don't really have any costume changes. I'm kind
Okay.
of keeping it super minimal and
Do you
just
do
kind
different
of,
voices?
Yes, I do.
Can you do some voices now? Or
right now?
yeah.
Well, yes, I guess I can. Well, there's a character called Helen Hart, and actually, that's a kind of surprise character. She just pops out at the end. So, yes, and then I guess there's a lot more.
Yeah,
There's
I mean
a
you don't
lot.
want to give it all away.
I don't want to give it all
That's
away. I also am
understandable.
Mel B. So hey Australia, I'm Mel B. Come along, join Jenny Craig today. That kind of thing. Yeah.
And we also saw one in your promo video, Hugh Augustino.
Oh yes, Hugh Augustino.
He seems to be inspired by some kind of, Anchorman type of character.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe from someone from Channel 7 or something like that.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
That's where you got the inspiration, I guess.
Yeah, totally. Oh, he's sort of like a mashup of people like Carl Stefanovic, and if anyone's ever watched Studio 10, the male presenter on there is Joe Hildebrand, and he's
Oh God.
they've got like a certain type of personality, and they just talk with a lot of they're very vehement about, certain topics that sometimes I don't know a lot about, And so maybe they're not the best, qualified to be talking about it, but they'll talk about it anyway. So
Yeah.
What about? So why different voices?
Why different voices?
Like I know Seth MacFarlane said he's got some psychological issues. That's why he does a
Yeah.
lot of voices in Family Guy.
Yeah.
Are you a bit like Seth MacFarlane there? Got a lot of voices in your head?
Well, sometimes I feel like I do when I'm writing it, yeah. But no, I love character comedy because it kind of just allows me to bring to life all of these weird and wonderful people that I can imagine in my brain, and it's kind of stuff that I like, I love doing anyway. I feel more comfortable playing a character on stage than I would be doing stand-up or anything like that. So, but yeah, I guess the show's set in the live TV studio of like a panel show. So something like The Project or something like that.
Ah, okay.
And so it's just the kinds of people that you would meet behind the scenes and, on screen in this kind of world. So, and it's a messed up kind of world too. I can
Okay.
say, yeah.
So you're stepping in, this is one of your first forays into comedy, or have you done anything before this?
So last year I did a show at a comedy festival, Melbourne Comedy Festival, called High Achievers, and it was it was a one-woman show about motivational speakers, and so I played about 5 different motivational speakers, and so But I did not write that show. I collaborated with some sketch writers and we kind of came together to make this. But this is the first time that I've ever written and performed my own show. So it's pretty exciting.
And then what's your background? Do you have like maybe, I'm going to guess like maybe in theatre or drama or something?
Yeah, spot on.
Okay.
So I studied at the VCA and then I, booted around Melbourne for a few years, getting little gigs here and there.
So you're from Melbourne, yep.
I'm from Brisbane, actually.
Oh, from Brisbane.
Yeah, I moved
Ah.
about 8 years ago now. So, and now.
Smart decision.
I know, right? Tell me about it. And even this weather right now is like very tolerable. So.
Actually, I got to ask you guys a question, a Melbourne question, because
You're from Sydney, yes.
I mean, I consider myself a Melburnian now. But have you ever heard the term burn city?
No. Never.
Apparently, that is a term that people refer to
City.
Melbourne as, burn city.
Yeah, wow.
I thought
That's
it was
odd.
weird at first. I was just thinking of a city of people with sideburns.
Burn City,
Yeah.
yeah. Or like sick burn city, like people going around just zinging each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back on topic.
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of these kind of shows like The Project or Q&A or something like that to get this kind of inspiration?
Totally. Yeah. I've watched more The Project than, is healthy for a person, I feel. I actually went to the live taping of Studio 10, which, if anyone hasn't seen it, you should just do yourself a favour one morning and watch it. It is glorious. You probably won't be able to sit through more than 45 minutes of it because it's it's daytime morning TV at its best. But the taping went for 4 hours. Had
Wow.
lots of advertorials, infomercials, lots of segments about who's doing what in Hollywood and whose cat died and that.
Oh,
kind
so
of
really
stuff.
important stuff.
You know,
yes.
Yeah.
hard-hitting issues. Yeah. So
It's going to shape the world we know.
exactly.
Yes,
That's
always.
right. So, but yeah, I know. But that was a lot of inspiration. And last week I went to a taping of Mad as Hell, and that was just the good stuff.
Yeah.
Sean McAuliffe is just a genius. So yeah, that's the stuff that I love to do as well.
What about in comedy? Because I'm trying to think. Who's the one that has Ahmed? What's his name?
Ahmed.
Has the hand puppets.
Sammy J and Randy. Sean.
You can say it.
John.
John.
Yeah, the guy with the puppets. With,
Yeah.
Baby and the guy that goes, I'll kill you!
Yes.
Yeah. It's John Dunham. Or something.
Yes, Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham, that's it.
Jeff
Yeah.
Dunham.
So,
yeah.
so make a long story short. Jeff Dunham, you take inspiration from people like Jeff Dunham who does character type of things, or
Yeah,
are you just
yeah.
solo? Just work out one day. I want to do character stuff.
No. I don't know. I take inspiration from a lot of people. I love, comedians like Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. Obviously, they've been a big influence on me. Icons, yeah. Kristen Wiig. Anything SNL sketch based is
That's always a good place to start. Yeah,
totally.
SNL
But
can be hilarious.
can be hilarious.
Yes,
Can be
can.
hit and miss. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes, yes.
That's the thing, and that's the thing too. You just gotta they're testing a lot of stuff out all the time, and it doesn't always land.
Yeah.
So.
Well, just like comedy,
So-
really. Yeah.
Exactly.
Would
That's
that
it.
be sort of, the ultimate goal, getting on SNL?
Oh yeah, but you know what? I think I'd like going back to Sean McAuliffe's Mad as Hell. I think I'd like to land it a little locally first. Like that
Okay.
for me, watching those guys work, the actors working on that show are just next to none. They're just their characterizations are so spot on. It's like political satire at its best. It's just it's a really well-oiled machine. It's so clever. That's the goal
Yeah.
for me. Like one day. when
Well,
I'm
yours,
40.
I think yours is really spot on. Because I studied journalism.
Oh yeah,
Um,
nice.
So, that's sort of my background. And then, I saw the newscaster one. I was like, I'm actually interning at Channel 7 as well.
Oh my god.
So I just thought, wow, this is amazing. This is so spot on.
Good.
I think journalists would be a big market for you. I think you should play that bit.
Totally.
Play that bit up.
Totally, yeah. It's one of those things where you kind of have to pitch it where you think it's gonna what audiences might respond to this or not. But Yeah, it would be great to have some people from television and the media that work in those industries in the audience, because it might be like a bit of a yes moment, a few times, but it also gets really weird. So it's not completely true to form.
Okay.
Things get weird and get a little bit more surreal. So just
like maybe like absurdist kind of.
totally.
Okay.
Yeah, in a few moments there. Like there's an advertorial presenter who is a Russian peasant born in the 1800s. And he's advertising rope. So there you go. That's it. And it's like very rudimentary kind of infomercial. That happens.
So you said before, this is your first properly solo show.
Yeah.
Written and you're doing the comedy.
Yeah.
Nervous?
Yeah, I'm terrified, but I'm also really excited because there's something that performing your own material, there's a confidence that gives you that you just kind of know it inside out.
I've just come off doing a comedy school.
Yeah.
And the thing I got told was the worst thing that can happen is that you die on stage. And then who else can follow that?
Yeah. Too true. That's right.
So think
And then you did.
Yeah, think of the positives though.
Exactly.
You've
That's
left the mark. Everyone will remember that comedy festival where you died, so you'll be famous
Yeah.
forever.
Maybe I should just do that tomorrow night, my first show, and then that's it. Dead.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think we'll sort of.
But the last hard-hitting question we have here.
Oh yeah, you got a hard question.
Yes, the hard-hitting questions. If you could be a dog, what breed would you be?
Border collie.
Border collie?
Absolutely.
You answered that
Yeah.
surprisingly quick.
I know, right?
It's like you've been preparing for this question your entire
That's tough, 'cause
life.
I don't know like anything about dogs. Oh, I like those dogs. Yeah.
You like those dogs? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheepdogs.
I
you
don't like
know?
small dogs. Small dogs are the worst.
They're very like active and playful. And
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And they're like, and
The small dogs are old people dogs.
they are. Yeah, they are. They have funny personalities. Small
Yes.
dogs. There's like.
I think I would be a dachshund.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
a sausage dog.
Yeah, sausage.
If
Like
I was a cat, I'd be one of those hairless cats. They are the
Oh,
most
yeah?
ugliest things in the world. It's just I'll be very ugly, but I'll be very expensive as well. So it's the best of both worlds.
Totally. Yeah, that's right. You know that they make a sound when they sit down because they've got no hair on their body, so they make like a
Oh.
sound when they sit down, like a suction, like their butt is suctioning. It's like when it comes back up.
That's gross.
So before we go, so how long are your shows on for?
7 nights only, from Monday till Sunday this week, 2nd to the 8th of April.
Only
So,
7 days to catch
Get
it.
in.
Exactly.
And, without mentioning the ticket prices,
Yes.
where can people get the tickets?
Or if you go to www.comedyfestival.com.au/Chelsea Zeller, you will be able to find.
Do you have to
all
like
my
type it in
shows.
that type of tone as well?
That's
Chelsea
right.
Zeller.
Yeah, search Massive Bitch, Chelsea Zeller or Massive Bitch in the Comedy Festival website, or head to the Butterfly
Isn't
Club
that your goal in
website.
life? If someone types in massive bitch on Google and just come up with a photo of you, isn't that like goals?
Yeah, totally.
It
Yeah, but
I mean, hopefully you don't have a chat box open at the same time and accidentally send it off to someone.
yeah, don't Google Massive Bitch Google Docs. Don't do that, okay? You're gonna see some bad stuff. Just gonna say. But
Well-
go to the Butterfly Club website. You'll be able to find it.
Well, thank you very much. You've been fantastic. Hope you knock it out the park.
Thanks, guys.
And maybe don't take the advice about dying. Stay alive for the experience will be much better.
I'll fake a death. That'll be great.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have actually. We've got a third comedian in the studio.
Oh, do
A
it.
third interview. And it's Liam.
Yeah, this one has
actually.
some audio. Let's give it a geez, shall we?
Yep.
My grandfather was called Liam. My dad was called Liam. I'm Liam. And I think my sister's in the audience. Hey, Liam. I'm named after my dad, but I'm not Liam Jr. And I always wondered why. I found out he's called something else. He's Liam Jr. So keeping family tradition, I decided to name my dick Liam III. Yes, that was me. And I
That
got
was
laughs.
you.
They were laughs. Shows I was quite funny.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're saying a lot, but people might not know what's actually happened.
Oh, they laugh. That's all that matters.
No. Like, explain what this was. Where was this comedy snip from, Liam?
The comedy snip was from the School of Hard Knock Knocks with Murray.
Yep.
who comes in every fortnight. I was lucky enough out of me, you, and Tal to be selected by
Yeah.
our producer Emma to come.
So Liam has been our insider source.
Yes.
So what was that like? Can you tell us about the whole learning process? And then we'll finish at your little performance.
Well, we actually started on Sunday, and it was a last minute thing as well. We started on Sunday, and it was perform a 2-minute skit. So we all got there, and there was 12 people.
Yeah.
There wasn't many people there. And I got there, did my 2-minute skit. None of the things I did in my 2-minute skit was in my original plan for my show on Thursday. Turns out everything I did in my 2-minute skit went into my show on Thursday.
Okay.
Because I really liked it. We just, pretty much what we've gone through, Maury's gone through the book. So we went through the book, broke off into groups, had to practice stuff, then come back on stage and do it.
Yep.
Some people took some jokes they used from the practices
Yep.
on their routine. Like I know some guy did one about lucky numbers. So you got to make a joke about lucky numbers. And he did one about pie, saying that, pie is his lucky number, but it's also, unfortunately, his lucky food. So he's put on weight, something like that.
Yeah.
So it was really good. Murray, who comes in here and teaches us, he's more in the background, so he does the lighting. He does everything. The lighting, the camera, the video, the photos.
Oh, wow.
But there's actually a comedian called Ben. He's the one that actually takes over the class. And he was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Helped you, teaches you. For me personally, first few times I got up there, I spoke like this all the time. It was really hard for anyone to understand how I spoke because I spoke really, really fast. And so a lot of my jokes fell
Is
flat.
that because you are nervous, you speak faster?
Well, I'm a fast talker as well. If anyone ever hears any of my first radio shows as well, it's, wow, Liam, you're really good, but slow down. But, exactly. So some jokes I said, and, I got, Liam, say that joke again. So I said the joke again, and they laughed, but mostly because I spoke so fast the first time, I didn't hear it.
So what I'm taking from this is a very practical course.
Yeah, very, very, well, we'll say hands-on. It was very hands-on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what kind of stuff, like, I guess my question is, because comedians have been doing stand-up comedy for years without comedy schools, what kind of stuff do you think that you learnt and got from this course that you couldn't have got, just learning on the fly, I guess?
Oh, I think you just get more, you learn what I learned in a week was some comedians will learn in a year through different joke structures and how to tell jokes.
Yeah.
A big one that a lot of new comedians don't do is pause. So, because a lot of new comedians want to say their jokes.
And they just want to get them all off.
So just say the one where I'm like, my granddad's Liam, my dad's Liam, I'm Liam, hey, my sister's in the audience, hi Liam. And then I go straight from that into the, my name's Liam. So I'm talking over the laughter. So people wouldn't understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's a big one that a lot of comedians didn't. Another guy I did, and even I towards the end, because you learn a lot about it, towards the end you can kind of help. We helped out each other a lot, all 13 of us. We were all really nice, very close, help out each other. This guy, every time he told a joke, he goes, ah, oh, ah. I was like, dude, they're going to laugh.
Yeah.
Stop trying to pause for the laughter.
Yeah.
Like there was one thing he did where he told a pun, and he did the ha ha ha, but that was part of the joke.
Yeah.
It worked, but I go, well, I remember saying to him, and I was like, they're going to laugh no matter what. Just
So I suppose
go
also
with it.
what you get is that sort of learning environment, obviously with a group of like-minded people who also want to learn about comedy, to also feel like, a bit of a good environment for that.
It was a fantastic environment, yeah. Absolutely fantastic. I was the second youngest there, actually.
Okay.
The oldest man was 50.
Yeah.
He was great as well. And good that not many of our jokes, or many of our sets ever really clashed. The only one I think kind of clashed was I had a joke about my fiancé, and another guy had a joke about his fiancé.
Yeah.
But they were also completely different. Mine was about my fiancé being a twin. He made jokes about his fiancé being fat.
Okay. I think that's different enough.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. And then it all led up to this, or culminated, should I say,
Yes.
in this final set, 5-minute set, was it?
Yep, 5 minutes each. Yep.
That the viewers have just heard a little snippet of.
Which is probably the best snippet because I decided to use a few swear words in mine.
Yeah, we didn't want to play all of the swear words. How was that?
For most of us, we kind of had comedy gold with the whole Australian cricket team. I think 5 people did at least a joke about the cricket saga.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like
Did
Chelsea
you do one
before.
about that? I forget.
Yeah, my last set was all about the cricket saga.
Okay.
But then you have someone like Chelsea as well, who, not Chelsea, the one before, Steph. Yeah,
Yep.
who's had the same routine going on and on, which, if I'm lucky enough to get picked up by another stand-up gig or Mark Knight, just got a tweak on the original, which I can't use the cricket theme because it's outdated.
Yeah.
So now I've got to find a new ending to my bit,
Yeah.
which I've already found. I've already tested it out with a comedian and a few other people to see what they think.
Yeah.
And it's really hard as well because a lot of my jokes when I was training, I had my fiance and she was in the audience. And not just that, my fiance is not the best with understanding jokes. So she's not really the best target audience to be trying to package new
she
material
thought
on.
you might be making fun of her or something.
No. The jokes I've said during my bit about her, I've said to her, her mum, her sister,
Oh,
her
so
dad.
it's not a matter of getting offended. She
No,
just
it's
like
just some jokes
goes over
straight
her head.
over her head, yep. So it's not really the best. You know, you want to practice on someone. You want to practice on someone who is really good with getting jokes. You don't want to practice someone who gets offended easy. Because I told a joke about, I go, me and my fiance could end. Me and my we could break up. We could end badly, or she can catch me having sex with her mum. If I said that to someone and they go, "That's rude. Why would you say that?" You can't really practice on them either.
Yeah, exactly.
I
suppose that's what you get at the
Yeah.
School of Knock Knocks. Those you can try it out with other
Yes,
people.
it's fantastic. You got a room of comedians, which also made it hard towards the end because they've heard your routine so many times, and you can.
Yeah, you know,
it's
you're
always
like
quite dead towards the end. Yeah.
You're performing the same thing that they've heard all week, kind of.
Yeah. My biggest issue was actually the first. That was 2 days before I made my opening line. My original opening line fell flat, and I tried it once. Didn't work. I was like, okay, I'll try again with my whole set.
Yeah.
Didn't work both times. So I made sure I had to redo the thing. Most of everything pretty much stayed in. And you also realise two things. One, especially when you plan, I don't know, when you're playing comedy, you have so much that you've trimmed the fat.
Yeah.
Like, I had jokes about when I lived in China. I had jokes about me moving to Geelong. I had a few more fiancé jokes. I had a couple of football jokes.
Like just up your sleeve.
Yeah, these are just jokes I originally had in or I've had planned.
Yeah.
And either if I ever do another set, I can, take a chunk out, put a chunk in, and...
So that's good. So it sounds like the main thing you've gotten is, how to come up with material.
Yeah, and everything's a joke.
Yeah.
Everything's a joke.
And
which
then
I've
you've
made
also
sure
got
I
this
told my
sort of
mum.
base, I guess, of material that you can use, in the future and go
Yes.
back to and build on and everything.
Yes. And also, this is probably anyone who's ever done comedy or anyone who has a sense of humour can tell. It's always good when it's personal. Take the piss out of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I did a joke, as you heard, about my name being the same as my dad's, which is very awkward because something my mum might have said why she had sex with my father.
Yeah.
If I was an uptight person, you couldn't tell a joke about that. That's
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's something you have to worry about too much. At most comedy gigs, people
Yeah.
are pretty. They're there to laugh. So they'll laugh at
and
the
you
bad
also don't want to be too, you got to believe in what you're saying. That's with everything. That's with radio. We can't be on this show and not believe what we're talking about. Like, if I was in, none of my jokes are about rape. And I did make that clear.
What?
'Cause- no, there's a good reason by that. There's a few jokes that I originally, I originally had kind of a rape-ish or a pedophile-ish ending. But I was like, I can change that because I don't feel like that comedy's me. I don't feel like maybe a little quick one
Yeah.
would be kind of funny, but as a big punchline, I was like, that's not really. One, I've done one comedy gig my entire career. Two, it's just you don't want to see a 22-year-old. That sounds weird.
You want to, because you're just starting out.
Yeah.
You want to give an image of what you like, and you don't want everyone to think that you're just some kind of edgelord who talks about that
Pretty
kind
much,
of stuff.
yeah. And you got to believe in what you're saying. I know a good example is a guy who won the Royal Comedy Festival just the other week. He went to School of Hard Knocks, and he started off doing rape jokes and pedophile jokes.
Yeah.
And he got told, this is during the 2-minute skit at the start, he got told to go off stage. He goes, the teacher goes, I know why you're nervous, this isn't you. You're not comfortable in what you're saying. So now, he ended up winning the Royal Comedy Heat, so he changed it up a bit, and he actually performed on the night. And he was fantastic, funny, really funny man. Helped me out as well. He came, we spoke on Twitter, because he goes, you got a good thing about you, you look kind of innocent. So you look kind of innocent when you start off, and then you tell a joke about your parents having sex.
Yeah.
And I messaged him. I remember talking to him, like, do you want me to, is there anything I should wear then?
To make you seem like a bad boy.
No, make me seem innocent. More,
okay.
more, Whoa,
Yeah.
would he really say something like that?
Maybe like a diaper and a bib or something.
Yeah. I did. That's exactly what I wore. Nice. It was a nice little
Yeah.
diaper. It was beautiful.
Oh wow! So you're starting to give your own lessons in comedy. You're starting to sound like Maury, hey?
Yeah, I just don't have that luscious hair he has. It does
Anyway,
have
it looks
luscious hair.
like in terms of time, we're coming to the end
Yes.
now. But thanks for letting me interview you, Liam.
Yes. We'll probably hear
And-
more about me when Murray's on next week.
Yeah. I'm sure we will. Maury will be back next week, and the in-joke will be back like we always are. And I think we have some interviews next week as well. I'm not sure who, but stay tuned.
Yes, on
Um,
In-Joke.
Yeah, and we've got Instagram and Facebook and all of the socials. Just look for
Yes.
In-Joke, and also look for the podcast on Omni and iTunes.
This is Sin 9.7.